Yeah, morning, Mr. K.
Yeah, good morning, Eric.
Today our topic is regarding your weaknesses. Yeah.
Yep.
And so, okay, do you think, yeah, in my opinion, everyone has their inherent weaknesses. And, but how about your opinion? Do you think you have you have weakness?
Yes, I think I have.
Mm, yeah. And then, yeah, and some people will have a mindset which is, mm, okay, actually they have three type of mindset. The first
Mm,
one is you focus on your strength, and you can kind of like ignore your weakness, and then you focus on your strength. And then the second type of thinking is you keep fixing your weakness. Mm. You try to become a person that don't have weakness.
mm,
And then the third is, yeah, try to balance it, um, and maybe not try to balance it, but they try to do both things at
mm,
the same time, strengthens their strengths. The, mm, and also you want to fix their weakness. To me, I don't have a right answer. Which one is better? And
mm,
maybe this is a choice, and different people have different choice, and also different strategy is is. I mean, this three type of strategy is not suitable for anyone. So there's no universal answer.
mm.
But how about you? Which type of thinking you prefer more?
Actually, I think if you ask me, I think is the third one. Um,
Mm,
yeah, which is like I think if we can look at our weaknesses and strengths to figure it out, and then at least try to do something on it.
mm, yeah. Mm, but is it really possible? The first is, can we really fix our weaknesses? And then the second is, there's an opportunity cost. When you focus on your weaknesses, you less focus on your strength.
Mm. Yeah,
Mm,
yeah, yeah. Yeah, you're right. Opportunity costs are always there for everything almost we do. Um, Actually, I think the three mindsets are good, are better than like uh, ignoring your strengths and weaknesses and never think about this, right?
mm,
Uh, do nothing. I think it's like uh, either any one you choose from the three you mentioned just now is better than do nothing.
mm,
So the opportunity cost is kind of like is always there when you take action.
mm. I agree with you. But one point is, maybe you're aware your weaknesses, but does it really mean that you have to solve it? You have to try to fix it?
Mm,
And also, how much extent you are going to allocate your time to solve it?
yeah, yeah.
So the first the, mm, I think the first type and the second type, this is not just like ignore. Maybe I use the wrong term. Okay, this is not kind of like ignore the another side, which is like ignore your weakness or ignore the strength. Just focus on one part,
Mm,
and this is not a good strategy. Really not a good strategy, because you need more perspective to to see a more comprehensive picture. So
Yeah.
you must know, you must gain the knowledge. What is your strength? What is your weakness? But the main point I want to make is focus. Yeah, how much focus you put on the strength or put on the weakness.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so it kind of like at the end you found that actually three of the type is actually are the same. The fundamentals is the same, just about the extent, just about the allocation. Maybe people give zero, really zero, kind of like ignore the weakness or the strength and focus on the other part. Or maybe people do people do maybe like 90-10, something like that. And how about the awareness? Maybe awareness people put 50%, but when coming to the action, when coming to doing something, they tend to focus on the strength rather than just keep fixing their weaknesses. Yeah. So yeah, we can talk about the weaknesses. So do you think what is your weaknesses?
Yeah, I think there are quite a lot, and today I have four to talk about. Yeah, the first one is I think also is one of the most influential, which means it affects me. I think is a lot, which is impatient. Yeah. In many things, I feel like I give up quite easily, or I stop doing it quite easily. Some of the things for here, I don't talk about the procrastination first. I talk about the things that I have already tried or take action, but I found that I give up quite easily, or when the things become like more difficult, or when the things become more boring, not getting the results so fast, I tend to like stop doing it.
I have to tell you, everyone will have these kind of issues, and it's not only you, one person. Everyone face the same issue. I also have the kind of like the impatience. But this, I would like to say, this is human nature. Just like the willpower. The willpower is something like the nature, but does you really need the willpower to get something done? Do you really need the patience to get something done?
Yeah. So from here we can see something more, right? Some insights, which is like maybe I didn't think of a solution or a plan for myself before my willpower go away. Is it something like that?
It could be, but it could be a bigger question. Do you know what it means?
Bigger question, you means? Oh yeah. Could you elaborate?
Then why just now you seems like you know something.
Yeah, no, I thought you say like not having a solution is a bigger problem
Oh
or
no
what?
no no no.
And I wait you whether you want to continue, but you didn't. So I thought
Yeah
you means that.
yeah. I mean you impatient on something. Why you start to think? What is the reason make you start to think? For example, you want to do exercise, but you found that you can't be determined. Then so how? But why you want to do exercise?
Healthy body.
Maybe healthy body. Yeah. Maybe it's
Keep fit.
because people told you this is doing this is healthy, so you do. but is it really good for your body? Maybe you overdo it. Maybe you try a wrong exercise. This is not the exercise suitable for you. Maybe you just don't like to do exercise. That if you don't like to do exercise, if you don't want to do exercise, how to improve your health? And can people really do zero exercise? And is this a rationalization? You think like this? You think, okay, people can have zero exercise and they still can have a relatively healthier body than others, as long as I don't do other bad things, for example, smoking. For example, stay up late. Yeah, eat eat a lot of processed food. And exercise is just one of the factors, but how much weight to my body? And can I really allocate my time to do exercise? Do I really think exercise is really, really important? Or do I really, really think health is really, really important? Try to see. If you ask people, they'll say, okay, health is the most important thing. But what they did to themselves, they changed their health to money, to wealth, and they gain nothing. They don't have enough wealth. They also don't have a strong, healthy body. So what I miss here is a bigger question. What you really want to achieve, what you willing to give up. If you really understand what you want, you can sacrifice any of the other things to achieve the thing you want. Nothing related to impatience. This is the only thing you want to achieve in your life. The most important thing you want to achieve in your life. Impatience just has zero role played here, because to you personally, you inherently dedicate your life and willing to dedicate your life into this area. But can people have zero patience on everything? It could be, and they have to find their passion. They have to try enough to really find something they like, they want to do, and fit their belief. So impatience is just a smaller question, smaller problem. There's another bigger problem here. Yeah. So what's your next one?
My next one is perfectionism. For this one, once I read a book, I also saw there is a part talk about perfectionism, and the author thinks perfectionism can be broken into two categories. The first category is so-called people who succeeded, and then the second category is like that they are not so successful. So the first category, they can get something really perfect to their eyes. Yeah, but maybe they don't feel good because they feel like also stressed or what to keep that perfect work. The second group of people, in their mind, they expect to get perfect, but they couldn't achieve that. So it can lead to many problems. For example, procrastinate, don't take action because they think they couldn't do it too perfect, so they don't want to start. I think I'm more towards the in this case I'm more towards the second type which is yeah, sometimes I just don't take action because I think I couldn't like do it perfectly, or
Yeah.
sometimes when I do it I don't feel good because I don't know why, I just like wanted to get it perfect.
And what's the book?
The book name is about procrastination.
Is it a Chinese book or is it an English book?
For that one is, I don't know that is whether a translated. I think it's a translated one. So
Mm.
the book I have is Chinese, but
Mm.
I think the author and the original is English book.
Yeah. So what's the name of the book in Chinese?
Yeah, I think I need to double confirm it before I tell you. But the keywords is procrastination, something like that.
Are you trying to perfect your speaking? So you want to double confirm before you tell me?
No, no, I don't know whether you want to have a look of that book or what. So I don't want to get it wrong.
Mm.
Mm,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Uh. Yeah. To me, it is not a good category, not a good classification, because it kind of like assume perfection. You do something perfect, you can achieve success. And of course, some people achieve success, some people fail to do it. And because you use the success of and a failure to separate people, to classify people, to classify the perfectionists into two parts. But the first principal question is it is it really just a thing that you will achieve success by doing something perfect? If the answer
Mm-hmm.
is no, how can you categorize by using success and failure? Mm.
Yeah.
Mm. Yeah, you to me, in my opinion, you don't need to do something perfect in order to success. You just need to do the right thing and do the best. And you will have you may have a lot of small small mistake and also small weakness. For example, Tesla car. Many people complain that the interior is very bad compared to like BMW, compared to like Merc, some other very high class car. The interior design is not good.
Mm.
And yeah, but this is a choice of the Tesla. Mm. Tesla can try to solve it, can try to improve it. Tesla can also focus on other things.
Mm.
This is Tesla choice. They don't need to make the whole car better than any other car. So become a literally best car in the world, and none of the car can compete with Tesla car in every aspect. Yeah, including the outlook, including the performance, including the material,
Mm.
but also including the price. How can you do that? How can you achieve all things at the same time keep the price low? You can't do it.
Mm. Yeah.
Yeah. So from this example, what I want to say is perfect. Doing something perfect not necessarily give you success. Mm. But
Mm.
if you but if the perfect is kind of like have the have few intersection, in something that's uh right thing, something a right thing, and then you achieve success. Mm. Because you do the right thing better than anyone. Mm. So it is in this case, they will have high correlation. But is a perfect is a main thing? No, it's doing the right thing is a main thing. This is my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah, and talk about my weaknesses. And I think my weaknesses got three. And three of them combined together can become a bigger weakness. Each of them seems like is kind of like I cannot say immaterial, but the impact seems like not huge. But when you combine two of them or three of them together, you'll lead to some problem.
Okay.
And my first weakness is fear of worsen off. So okay, what do I mean is I actually fear of making wrong decision. I actually fear of the consequence. And of course, I also fear of doing nothing. And the second is lazy. Yeah, I fully aware that I'm a lazy person. Yeah, of course, I think just like impatient, lazy is also something like the human nature. But I mentioned here lazy. And the third is I think I have a high level technically. Yeah, and the technically is not the technically I mentioned here is it's not like the self-esteem. It's not like I care people opinions. No, I don't care the opinion, but I still have the high level of empathy. So this is kind of like not really related to the self-esteem.
Okay.
This is kind of like I want to be right, and then and also I think I'm right, and also it's kind of like I'm less willing to maybe to accept people opinions. Can say something like this. Is it, and also maybe it's like less respect on others opinions. You can also say like this. Yeah, so it's quite broad. Yeah, and there's no the really one sentence to describe this thing. Yeah. And the fourth one is which is also the last one, I think, is a lack of flexibility in socializing. And this is more specific. And what do I mention here is I'm not only not really good at socializing, but I also don't have the intention want to do socially. And I kind of like quite hate it. Quite hate it. And yeah, of course, I like to discuss something really deep with some people can give you the insight. But I don't like to spend time doing the socialing with a stranger and also with some other people that I know I'm not going to gain something from them. Yeah, but of course, this is just my judgment. Do I really cannot gain something from them? No. Yeah, this is just my judgment. So yeah, so these four combine together. And so for example, one of combination is lazy plus the technically. And my roommate our roommate introduced one of the part-time jobs to us, and it's a toilet cleaner, and working for a day, you'll get like $70. And my girlfriend go for it, but I don't go for it. Yeah, and then 70 per day is a lot. Yeah, it's quite a lot, because you see, let's say if you are 5 working days per week, so that means you have eight rest day in a month, and 8 rest day in a month, you times 8 times 7, 56.
560.
Yeah, 560 is quite a lot.
Yeah.
So it's really quite a lot. And for me, first thing is, I don't have 8 rest day, but I have 4 rest day. But 4 rest day add up together is also 280. It's kind of like a 10% of my salary.
Yeah.
So this is quite a lot, but I refuse to do it. I think the first reason, to be honest, the first reason is the dignity. Dignity play the main role here. And then the second is lazy. And I have a mindset that, yeah, I'm the person using the knowledge, using my brain to work, to earn money. I don't want to do I don't want to do some physical work to earn money. No matter is it like the toilet cleaner, no matter is it
the dishwasher,
like some other job. And also there's another job which is it's kind of like the auditory police. So it's kind of like yeah, I'm not sure you know this. Singapore is very, very familiar. Yeah, auditory police. And then I heard from my friends which tell me that we actually can get around 4,000 plus per month salary. Yeah, 4,000 plus per month salary. And if you add up the yearly bonus and also add up the OT, yeah, but of course you need to do OT quite a lot. And the working hours is quite long, like the 12 hours per day. And if you also do OT and total add up together, you'll get like more than 4,000 Sing dollar per month. And yeah, and it's really, really a lot, yeah, compared to my current salary. And but I refuse to give a try. I refuse to do it. And there are some reasons here. First, I think still the main is a dignity, and then the second is lazy. I don't want to work so long hours. And then the third one is uncertainty. I afraid I switch to this kind of career, I cannot switch back. And once I switch to like using the physical manpower to earn like the income, and then after that, maybe I will face difficulty to switch back to do the office work. Yeah, but this is just a rationalization. Yeah, because in long term, really, yeah, your current job still will get replaced. It's not necessary the physical the job that require physical power will get replaced. Maybe your job get replaced quickly. Yeah, and then you didn't earn enough money. You didn't try to maximize this time window to earn as much money as you can to grow your wealth. So I think this is the first combination, and then the second combination is a fear of worsen off plus lazy. The first is I'm not willingly to change my job, yeah, for career advancements. So for example, I have the choice to find another job and then to go into another path. For example, data analyst, and also maybe the investment analyst.
Mm.
It also could be anything, financial analyst, some others. Maybe also, for example, the programmer also can, but it is more difficult for me. Yeah, compared to the thing I mentioned just now, the job I mentioned just now. And I also can go find some, maybe some other, like the kind of like the job more toward to the management. And there are some job called something like called a management trainee, something like that. And it's kind of like of the part to train yourself to become a manager. Yeah, to kind of like go into the operation, not just focus on the finance. Yeah, and yeah. So, but I fear of doing this because I fear I change and then it actually gain nothing, and it make me worse off.
Mm.
Yeah. So this is a this is a bigger obstacle for me to cross. And also the second thing, I think the job is quite meaningless. Yeah. And I miss for other jobs. Yeah, of course. If I don't change my job, I really have no idea whether the job is really meaningless or have some meaning. And to me right now, maybe it is a rationalizations, but I think my current job has some meaning. The first thing is, mm, I don't just focus on the job. I can do some other things, and sometimes the thing I learn can help make my job and can help to improve the efficiency. So I enjoy this kind of feeling, which is I don't really I don't really spend 100% of my time, of my energy in the job, but I have some free time to learn something new, to explore myself, and sometimes I will have an new idea to improve the efficiency, to improve the operation. And that improvement is not just little, it's quite it's quite significant. And
Mm.
I wonder if I fully put in my energy and time into the work, keep doing the same thing, whether I will come out this solution or not. Because I'm not a fresh graduate. I, I have I have I have some work experience. Yeah, some few a few years work experience before I joined this company. So I can kind of like feel that maybe it's a wrong feeling, maybe it's a wrong sense, maybe it's a rationalization. But yeah, whatever. So it kind of like I afraid I losing this because not many company give you the kind of like give you the control, over your job, over your task. As long as you uh you did your work good,
Mm.
yeah, meet their expectation, and then they don't really comes like uh try to manage you. There's a term called the micromanagement. They try to
Mm.
micromanage every of the stuff. Yeah. So mm, yeah. But I also aware that maybe in the long terms, I actually also will get worsened off. because maybe I always stay in a small company. I always stay in the maybe you can call the declining industry, and yeah, and you kind of like you can do a lot. You can learn something, and you can try to apply something, but maybe you go to another company, you still can learn a thing, and maybe you can learn more. You can see more things. You can learn better methodology, and yeah, and also maybe the additional income, and also a better career path can kind of like pro- provide provide you a better life in long term. Yeah,
Mm.
at current moment is kind of like I also afraid of losing my free time in exchange the income that uh is not really worth my free time.
Mm.
Yeah, and I also not sure by losing my free time I lose some opportunity in exchange the income, but what's the value of the opportunity loss? Yeah, if I lost the free if I lose the free times. And one example is if I keep work hard, if I keep focus on the work, do I really have have the mind, have the thought that I want to create my own trading bot? Yeah, of course I'm not talking about my trading bot is sustainable. I'm not talking about my trading bot can help you can help me make money for my for the rest of my life.
Mm.
I'm not talking this, but
Yeah.
it's just losing the opportunity. And
The time for you to think
mm,
or do something else, right?
yeah, and maybe the time for you to do nothing. When you do nothing, you start to think. When you do
Mm.
nothing, and sometimes the new idea comes in.
Mm.
Mm, yeah, so yeah, I think that this is one of the combination. The fear of wasn't off plus lazy,
Mm.
but the fear of wasn't off. It's kind of like in this case is you can say it's short term, you can say it's long term, depend on your perspective, whether you think your free time is more worth in long term, whether the additional income to you is worth and the additional income and also the career path to you is a more long term thing. Because you
Mm.
know money can also compound. Not only your time, not only your learning, your free time,
Mm.
your idea can be compounded. The money
Yeah.
you earn, you put into the index or you put into your investment, the investment you already have high conviction, it also can compound. Yeah. So yeah. So this is not easy thing.
Mm.
Yeah. And then the third combination is technically plus lack of flexibility in socialing. And this one I already mentioned. I don't like and I seldom do the socialing. And what's the consequence? Less friends, smaller social cycle,
Mm.
a smaller social circle. And I have kind of like I'm having a high standards to myself. This is another consequence. I have kind of like high level higher level standard to myself, and I also have higher level standard to others on others. And sometimes I just being cruel on others. For example, I think this is the mistake that shouldn't be made. Something like that. This is a very easy concept. Yeah, why you have never thought about it, why you miss it. I also agree that I'm still a person who will make mistake and will always make a lot of mistake in the past, and people having high standard of me, so I can really put myself into the shoes after I have that experience. Before I have that experience, I don't really have the strong feeling how uh how bad it actually feels
Mm.
by getting a person having a high standard on you. But now I can feel it because I have the experience. Yeah, some people have a higher standard than me, and then yeah, and they are my boss. Yeah, so I can feel that.
Yeah, Eric, can you give an example of how is like having a high standard on others? What do you mean?
Okay, for example, high standard. Okay, for example, on work, on job,
Mm,
let's say Excel is a very basic skill, right?
yeah.
And my Excel skill, I would say my Excel skill is quite excellent.
Mm,
But other people, their Excel skill is not good. To me, in my eyes, it's quite bad. And no matter how long they touch, they have had they have used the apps, the Excel, but they just don't know the basic function. They just don't know how to do a simple formula. Mm. And then I will
And
kind of like try to think, wow, this person have like maybe 5 years or 10 years experience touching Excel, doing something by using Excel. How come they didn't came across, and also how come they didn't try to learn something, improve their efficiency, and also they don't familiar some very important tools in Excel. Mm.
yeah.
Yeah, they can't even write a each formula. Yeah.
Yeah. So after this kind of maybe thinking in your mind, do you express it through your action? Maybe uh, talk to them or maybe criticize or what?
I didn't directly criticize them, but more or less it expressed in my behavior, in my talking. I become less impatient. Mm. Yeah. So
Oh,
when I become when I become more impatient, when I become less patient, and when I become less patient, which is the example I mentioned, I having high standard on other people and I being cruel on others. Yeah.
mm,
And it also could be like in our daily English conversation. For
yeah.
example, I think something we already came across, and we already kind of like really kind of like in the past we really have a very clear idea about something. But kind of like when our conversation moving forwards,
Mm,
the idea kind of like uh being being forgot. Yeah, being forgotten.
yeah.
Yeah. So sometimes, yeah, sometimes I also would kind of like being cruel on you. This is something I aware. Mm.
Yeah.
And yeah, so this is all the combination.
Mm,
And for me, one of the weakness, I think this is something that I have to change. This is not something like can kind of like I mean from a long-term perspective, fixing this weakness can make me really better off. And yeah, sometimes the weakness don't need to be fixed. But to me, there's one weakness at here. I think I
mm,
have to fix, which is the technique. I really need to cultivate the humility, be more humble, and kind of like less focus, uh, less putting myself in the center. try to be more open to the opinions, and yeah, something like that. And also try to be more patient on others. And this is and this is also something that I always improving, try to put myself into other people's shoes. Yeah. And in my opinion, I have a very high, relatively high level of disability in thought, in thinking. I can really shift the thinking from myself to others. Yeah. And
Yeah.
but sometimes about the emotion part, and yeah, I just more difficult to to put myself into other people's shoes, and this is something I think I need to improve for long term better off.
Yep. Yeah, but for the case, like the example of just now, you say, let's say somebody use Excels for already many years, but maybe he still has a very low efficiency, something like that, right? They don't actually use much of the functions in Excels. Yeah, but if let's say that is your colleague, and then uh, they have to, let's say you have some uh, cooperation, yeah, on some task, and then maybe he need to do that and then pass to you. In that case, uh, isn't that actually not only like you have a high standard on him, but actually he because of that he actually impact you, maybe slow down the work, um, give you some inconvenience, isn't it? It's not like
Yeah,
not because if he is not your colleague, let's say he is working in other companies, but you have seen how he used the Excel and then maybe a very low efficiency. I
I
think
just
that
don't I just don't care them because they have zero
yeah,
impact in my life, right?
yeah, yeah. So in your example, which one are you referring to? Are you referring to the people that has a cooperation or connection with your work, or what?
Yeah, more about this. But sometimes I also criticize some other group of people, right?
Mm,
Mm. And but for the situation you mentioned just now, what would you do? Would you just keep quiet and blame others? But for me, I try to solve the problem. I create an Excel templates and give them, improve their efficiency. I teach them to use.
mm, yeah,
This is my solution. But mm, it's how I solve a problem. But it is uh zero kind of like it's nothing related to the technique, the weakness. I still have the weakness. I still have the technique. I still can be impatient on them. And yeah, of course, when I teach them something,
mm,
and I'm very patient. Yeah, and
mm,
because I know that the idea teaches and learns. If I
mm,
didn't teach them good, if I didn't let them really understand, it's my problem. So in this case, I don't have a very high kind of like quote unquote technique level. I don't have a high level impatient level. Yeah, I tend to be very patient. And my college also say that I'm so willing to teach them, and I'm so patient when teaching them.
mm,
Yeah, but hmm, this is another case. So this is not just yeah, just like what I say. Maybe the technique is not the correct term to describe this kind of weakness. And I also believe that weaknesses, real weaknesses to you, is kind of like not easily to be explained. And because weakness is belong to you, it's kind of like a lot of personality combined together become one thing. And this single one thing, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, they all of them still can have a combination impact on you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you say you want to fix it? Maybe it's not that easy, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then yeah. You want to continue?
Yeah, no, you go ahead first.
And also your weaknesses, the first one, which is like fear of worse off, right? Worse off situation, fear of making wrong decisions. Yeah, for this one, I think the problem is we can never know the outcome, right? Before we try to do that. So so I don't think this is something something wrong or something like a weakness.
But you combine it to others, it become a real problem. Yeah, for example, now, right now, my thinking is I don't want to join the red race. I don't want to go into the wheels. And I already have a relatively good job compared to the people who live and work in Malaysia. Yeah, of course, in Singapore, my salary is still below average, really below average. And Singapore average salary is around 4,400 Sing dollar. Yeah, and the second thing is, okay, yeah, okay. The first point is my salary is relatively high compared to a person who work in and live in Malaysia, and and also I don't want to join the wheels, the red race, because maybe if I change my job, I join into this game again, and I will not have like kind of like the high level control over my time when doing my work. I won't have like a lot of free time, and then now I allocate my free time in many things: reading book, thinking, yeah, and sometimes do nothing, and more peace in my life, more peace in my mind, maybe less stress, yeah. But less stress doesn't mean it's good, you know. In this case, yeah, it's not kind of like the chronic stress. Yeah, it's not the chronic stress. So more stress doesn't mean comes to you. But maybe I stay in my comfortable zone, and I focus more on the investment and focus more on the trading. Yeah, you can see, and this is the area that make me the most of the money in my life, and in the foreseeable future, is still hold true, unless the whole market, the whole industry I'm invested in go zero, disappear, total wipe out. Yeah, and yeah, but also one of thing is, do you really need spend so much time in thinking investment and thinking in trading? If you're doing a long-term investment, why don't you just find out the best vehicle you think they are, and then put in your money, and then work hard, and then so you earn more income, and then you can have additional income put into the vehicle, and then you can grow your wealth. And I focus on trading, but is trading really that important? And is trading, to me, trading is scalable compared to maybe the employee, the job the career, and of course trading has risk, and you need to control risk. And also, for example, you want to do a startup. Doing a startup also involve risk. And to me, it's just like there's not a good opportunity in kind of like in the market if you want to do a startup. And I don't know, I really don't know, because this is not my expertise. I really don't know what can I do if you ask me to do a startup. So yeah, not become a businessman. Don't want to go into a red race. Don't want to pursue like kind of like career advancements. Investment and trading is my kind of like last choice. Yeah, and but I also enjoy in doing this thing. Yeah, I enjoy kind of like thinking the idea and then rationalize, uh, uh, realize or materialize the idea, put into the code, and then automate it. Yeah, and let it run, and I don't need to think. I don't even need to think them in future, but I still have the understanding about how it works. Yeah. And then I can free out my mind and then think in the next thing, do the next thing, kind of like this. Yeah. So I think one of the analogy or one of example can highly describe my personality. If I have enough money, really a lot of money, and which part will I choose? Maybe I choose still working hard, just like a lot of billionaires. They are the expert in their industry, in their field, and even after they achieve the financial freedom, they still work quite hard, really hard, because it's their
passion in it, right?
Yeah, because this is their passion, and they like to do it. They keep doing it, and well to them is give you the freedom, give you freedom, give you the security, but they're still doing the same thing because this is their passion. And but for me, maybe because I haven't found the quote unquote the real passion that I want to dedicate all my life into it. And if I have enough money, kind of like maybe after I financially retired, and then I'll try more things. Yeah, try more things and kind of like enjoy my life and kind of like have peace in my mind. So I don't really want to fight with other people, and I maybe even do a startup. And some people say that I want to retire, or maybe I want to earn enough money so I can do a startup. But to me, if I have earned enough money, I don't even want to do a startup. So I think this is the example to describe kind of like my personality. That doesn't mean that I will stop. Will I stop learning? Will I stop growing? No. Yeah, I still will keep learning. I still will keep trying something. And if I found something that I really like, I will still keep doing it. Just like the investment trading. I think this is something I like to do, so I will still keep doing it. And even after I fully financially retire, I still will keep doing the investment, still will keep doing the trading. Yeah. So, do you want to make your remaining point?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Just now I talk about impatient and then perfectionism, and yeah, the next one is I feel like I'm simple-minded. Yeah, for this one is like many of the things I don't know whether this is like not having the habit uh to to think deeply. Um, yeah, just many of the things stop in the like stop at the first level. Yeah, for example, just now the first weakness I mentioned is impatient, and yeah, you can help me to dig into more insights for that. Yeah, but for me, I just like stop there. Like, okay, I have a weakness, impatient. Yeah, and uh, very often I don't like do something on it. Yeah, I just stop
Mm.
there, not going to the next thinking or action because no thinking after that, so that no action or changes on that. Yeah, so I think yeah, this is also my weakness.
Yeah. Uh, but you are better than many of the people. Yeah, and many, if you describe yourself, it's kind of like simple mindset, and other people will just no mindset under your definition.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah, yeah. But
They
to
even
me,
they don't even start to think. If you
mm,
ask them what's their weakness, they will just don't know.
mm, yeah. But I think one of my strength on the other hand is like uh I'm willing to discuss. If somebody asks me some
Yeah,
question like this,
yeah.
uh,
This is one of
mm,
the really good strength of you. Mm.
yeah, I don't have a feeling like okay, I think this is boring. I don't want to know it or talk about it. No, I actually like to involve in the discussion. People tell
Mm.
maybe new things I haven't heard before. Yeah, I like it. Yep. So this is the third one, and the last one today is I feel like yeah, I like to avoid difficult situations. Uh, you can also say that to avoid um, challenges or to avoid uh, like making the things uh, um, how to say okay, one of the example is like uh, I sometimes like to please other people. It's because I
Mm.
don't want to have like difficult situations. um
Mm.
yeah, I just want to like not having the war or what.
Mm.
Yeah, but I think this is not so good. Yeah,
Yeah.
sometimes I suffer the loss myself
Mm.
just for not having arguments or what. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I think this is also yeah, it's a real weakness. And because sometimes I can feel that when we are discussing something
Mm,
and kind of like I'm not sure whether my feeling is true, but it just seems to me you have nothing uh you didn't agree with me, okay,
mm,
you didn't agree with me, but you didn't make your strongest point to against to push back.
mm,
So it kind of like make me think that uh kind of like I I I couldn't get the feedback.
mm,
Hmm. What I want is I want to get the feedback. Maybe it's positive, negative. Negative is also very good because it can update my connections.
yeah,
I can see more things. Yeah, I can think in another perspective.
mm,
It's better than nothing. So sometimes I would just think that and you just kind of like keep quiet and
mm,
then say nothing, and then we end the conversation. And
yep.
after some times, we you forget the thing. Maybe I also forget the thing. Mm,
Yeah. Mm, yeah, then we miss it, right?
mm,
um Okay, for this one, I think yes, you're right. Some of the time, uh, yeah, when there is an like very big argument, yeah, I tend to like not argue so much. Uh, yeah, it's these weaknesses, which is like that is a difficult situation. Uh, I yeah, I just have this weakness, want to avoid it.
Mm,
And the other reason of sometimes I didn't comment on something is actually in my mind I don't agree, but
mm,
actually my mind is very uh not well structured. I mean, even I don't agree, but I couldn't tell, I couldn't have a, 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 the logic behind to support my this agreement. So I also don't know uh, uh, why I disagree this. So I didn't say it out.
mm. But if you didn't say after some time, will you still remember this thing?
Yep, no.
No. And then you just leave it. And next time the same thing will still happen.
Mm,
And to me, the feeling will become stronger and stronger and stronger.
mm,
Yeah. And to you, you also feel worse and worse and worse because it kind of like one thing is kind of like maybe the sense of the feeling of kind of like uh not thinking something and also kind of like yeah it's the same thing I mentioned, it's the same thing I'm still talking the same thing and you still disagree but you don't know why.
mm,
And then when I the more I say it, the more I can give more perspective, the more I convince myself. But there's no the counterparty, but there's no counterpart arguments to make me think in another perspective.
mm,
Of course, I will find another perspective, but all of the perspective will just accumulate in a positive in a uh in a positive part. But nobody give me some constructive advice, constructive opinion to make me stop down and think. Yeah, and at the same time, I cannot improve. And also, you also cannot improve. I cannot improve because I keep walking the same path. I didn't see around. You cannot improve because you always stop. You always stop. You didn't walk. You didn't move.
mm, yep,
Mm. Yeah.
mm,
So I actually uh, very appreciate. Sometimes you make a constructive opinion. Sometimes yeah, even if it's just a silly opinion, even if it's sorry, I maybe I shouldn't use a term.
yeah,
Maybe it is something like the idea is not mature,
mm,
but we can discover some psychological bias behind it, and we can more understand why the thing should be like this. And
mm,
also, I sometimes it can challenge. It really can challenge my concept because something seems logical doesn't mean something work. Yeah,
mm,
just like for example, uh, let's say for example, smoking is so bad to your health. Everyone knows,
yep,
but why people
yep,
still smoke? Yeah, so there are some other reasons. Something logic, something seems to be true doesn't mean that people were doing it. Yeah, and somebody don't doing it, many people don't do it. This is just not the reality. And we want to guard ourselves, guard our behavior with reality. Yeah.
mm,
You can have the most rational mindset, but you fail to achieve any of the success in your life because you are too rational. You didn't take into consideration of others' emotion, other
mm,
irrationality. Mm.
yep,
Yeah, so I really appreciate your opinion. Really, mm. Making opinion better than making zero opinion.
Okay.
And it can improve yourself. It also can improve me.
Yep.
And maybe also is my weakness, the technique, maybe plus a lack of flexibility in socializing, make me feel less desire to come out to come out your opinion. Yeah. And when you kind of like aware something, and you also can tell me. Yeah.
Yep.
And maybe at that time I still maintain my dignity. Okay. But I still will think. I always keep thinking. And when I start to think, when I aware something, I can improve.
Yep.
And next time I will do better.
Okay, I will pay attention to this. Yep. And okay, just now it reminds me something like I remember when I was in the school, there is a teacher, and the teacher said, actually I was very open-minded. I can like accept people's critics, and then you can tell me what is something that I did wrong or not so good you think, or you are not or you don't disagree, you don't agree with, something like that. And yeah, but I remember one time somebody like saying something bad, or like point out his weaknesses. I forgot what is that, but yeah, what he did is actually he couldn't accept, and like he lost his temper at that time. Yep. Yeah, but I think for you, yeah, you're not that kind of person, which is like you can really accept how other people tell you, right? Maybe like
but maybe
criticize you.
But maybe at the real time, I'm really not sure, because this is just uncertain. I'm not sure what was in my mind and what is my emotion. And but I think, okay, losing your temper, it could have many definitions. It could have many definitions, and sometimes I just want to fight back. I just want to find more point to guard myself and fight back, and I don't want to accept. I don't want to take your perspective, take your opinion. And to me, this is something lose of temper.
Yeah.
And it doesn't really mean that making sound loud and kind of like score people using your 30 words. I don't do it. Yeah. And yeah, and just like you say, yeah, the teacher tell you you are open-minded and you are willing to accept the criticism. Yeah, I think this is true. It's one of strength of you. But also because of the another weakness, which is kind of like is it called the keep quiet or something like that?
Yeah.
And
I think for this one I can say is like being coward. Yeah, just avoid some difficult or dangerous things.
Yeah, and sometimes it should not just accept. Yeah, I mean for sometimes people criticize you, it should not accept. It should just kind of like ignore. Yeah, when you accept, it's kind of like people say open-minded, and what's the behavior? Okay, okay, you kind of like you didn't score them. You kind of like tend to agree to your point, and also make them feel that you understand the problem. But ignore can be also doing the same thing. You tend to let them feel that you agree their point. You let them feel that you understand, but after some time you just forget it. Maybe
Yeah.
intentionally or unintentionally. I think for your case it's unintentionally because you kind of like maybe it's also a combination of the perfectionism. You want perfect. You want to make the thing grounded. Yeah, stand on the ground, and then before say out. But if you don't say out, if it's a complicated, if it's an abstract idea, people don't have time to always sit down and discuss back the thing. And when it pass a time, and we lose the opportunity.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So do you have anything on the end?
Yeah, no. Yep.
Okay. Yeah. Talk to you tomorrow.
All right. Talk to you tomorrow. Goodbye.
Bye.